Hello everyone, I'm back for my second message, and I think there will be a third message after this. On the morning of February 8th, I had a dream with 3 parts. In the first part, the Lord kept telling me that the famine and the war of Revelation 6 are simultaneous. Also, I believe these are the next events to happen. In the second part of the dream, there were 2 storms coming, one right after the other. In the third part, I was looking up into the sky and I could see 2 Earth-like planets. One was the Earth and the other looked like the Earth, hovering very close by. The Earth-like planet that was hovering began to fall into the Earth's atmosphere, and then it disappeared into a portal. Some people didn't believe it was real. I talked to other people and they knew something was happening. They knew big changes and persecution were coming, but they continued to go on with their lives like nothing was taking place, or like they just had no fear of what was happening. The second part of the dream obviously confirms the first part. The war and famine are like 2 storms that are coming, and they'll come one right after the other. My belief is that the war will cause the famine. I don't quite understand the part about the 2 planets. I think the first Earth, the way that we know it, the way we're used to it, and the second Earth is symbolic of how the Earth will change and become unlike it is or has ever been because of the war and the famine that is coming. The 2 groups of people at the end of the dream symbolize those that are not awake and refuse to believe what they see and hear, and those who are awake but are unaffected by what's taking place. Those who see and hear what's taking place and know what's coming have their trust in Jesus and know we are in His refuge and are unsettled or unshaken by what's happening. This morning, February 15th, while I was in prayer, I heard the Holy Spirit say, "The Soviets are coming." This confirmed that the war is coming next. For those of you too young to know who the Soviets are, prior to the 1980s, Russia was known as the Soviet Union. Right after I heard the Holy Spirit say this, I heard the song, "Back in the USSR." Then later, while I was in my bathroom getting myself ready for the day, another song began to play in my spirit. That song was, "When the Saints Go Marching In." I believe the Holy Spirit wanted me to be encouraged about going home before the war begins. I've had dreams in the past of the rapture occurring prior to the war taking place. Several years ago, I was shown that the baby of Revelation 12, which is the church, will be delivered just as the war drums are sounding. I know that we didn't think that we'd still be here through the plague and death, and many of you may not know how we can be sure we won't be here when the next event comes. We must have faith and trust in God's plan to deliver the followers of Jesus Christ, and we must believe that He does not want us to go through any more than we have to. He wants to take us home. Up until this point, He's been merciful toward the lost and the unbelievers, not wanting any to perish in their sins. But we are now at the point where people are no longer listening to God's messengers. Even in the church, there's a great falling away, with many running toward false teachers and false prophets, who tell them what they desire to hear. Many are so scared by what they see, they just want to hear that things are going to be good again. We've seen that with Trump's MAGA followers. God is just and true, and He will keep His promise. Have faith and do not doubt. Do not be shaken by what you see and hear. Trust in the refuge of Jesus Christ and keep following Him no matter what. Our time has come and we will be out of here at any moment. It's obvious that our task has run its course because it's getting harder and harder to put these messages out. The world won't allow us to preach truth anymore. We are being so censored and have to go back to cloaking our words in code, just like Jesus and His apostles had to do in the days of the Pharisees. But God assures me that all is in place and ready to be fulfilled. It is time for our wedding and for the banquet. Be ready to go. God bless each and every one of you. Shalom.